Young Don completely walked away from Christianity.
I'm just gonna be living life like a normal human. Yeah, man, I'm done with all of this foolishness. I'm done with the bigotry. And it's held me back for 3 years, but not anymore.
If you've been following his journey, this might be shocking to you, might be confusing, and even make you question your own sense of faith. Maybe you looked up to him as a Christian voice, and now you're wondering to yourself, so if he's leaving, what does that mean for the rest of us? Listen, I get it, but here's the truth. People change, they struggle, they're going to stumble, but God, he never changes. He never leaves you, and no matter who falls away, your faith doesn't have to. So stick with me because we're going to be going through and talking about why this matters, how to stay grounded in your own faith, and why God's love will never fail you. Let's start by addressing what happened. As of the recording of this video, Young Don or Young Don Reborn, a very, very talented content creator who was once vocal about his Christian faith, recently made the shocking decision to walk away from Christianity. Now, I waited to give my thoughts about this situation because I wanted to see how God would move through Young Don or also his community. But it seems like he's sticking to his stance and everyone is still shocked. He shared his struggles, he shared his doubts and his reasons for no longer identifying as a believer. Whether you agree with him or not, it's clear that his journey has stirred up a lot of emotions within himself and also in the Christian community.
So let's turn to John chapter 14 and look at this. It says, "Very truly, I tell you, the one who believes in me will also do the works that I do. And in fact, will do greater works than these, because I am going to the Father. I will do whatever you ask in my name so that the Father may be glorified in the Son." Show me a single man on this planet that can do greater works than what Jesus did.
Some are angry. Some are very disappointed, and others feel deeply saddened. And if you've been following his content just like me, maybe you feel like this is a sense of betrayal, or worse, you might even feel like this shakes your own faith. But I want to tell you something right now. Our faith should never, ever be built on a person. It should be built on Christ alone. The Bible tells us that in the last days, some will fall away from the faith. We see this happening all the time in society right now, especially with our influencers and public figures. Now, why is that so important? Because Christianity isn't just about saying the right words or following the right set of rules. No, it's about having a personal, unshakable relationship with Jesus Christ. There are many, many reasons why people walk away. Doubts and unanswered questions. When someone within the faith wrestles with deep theological issues and they don't seem to find the answers that they're looking for, they can really become disillusioned.
If in my name you ask me for anything, I will do it. That's another thing. I talk about unanswered prayers. But people will say, oh, well, you know, God doesn't always answer prayer. He says anything. So now anything don't mean anything.
Worldly influences. The world is constantly pulling at us, making Christianity seem restrictive or outdated. Hurt from the church. Unfortunately, people will experience church hurt and associate that church hurt pain with God himself. In spiritual attacks, the enemy is always looking to deceive and lead people astray. But here's the good news. No matter how far someone drifts, God's love is still reaching for them, whether they like it or not.
Really, my deconstruction started when God started to fail me years ago. I've been a Christian for 3 years, or I was a Christian for 3 years.
Here's what I need you to hold on to right now. God's promises never fail, regardless of your own personal expectations. He tells us this in Hebrews chapter 13, verse 5. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Even when we struggle, even when we doubt, even when we walk away from our faith altogether, God will never leave us. God's timing is always perfect. The issue is we expect it on our own time. God is still there, still waiting with open arms. I personally felt just like this in my 20s, being reckless and being foolish. I questioned my own sense of religion, thinking that I was just only going to church because I was programmed to do that as a child, because being my dad being a pastor, and it was out of routine. And I said to myself numerous times, why do I even need to do this? I mean, God ain't real. But the moment that I hit rock bottom, I had no money, no job, broken relationships, and a sense of despair in my life. The first person I called out to, and it wasn't my parents, it was God. And like a loving father, he embraced me and he never left my side, even when I left him. I want you to look at the parable of the prodigal son in Luke chapter 15. A son walked away from his father, wasted everything that he had, and he hit rock bottom. But when he turned back home, what did his father do? He ran to him with open arms. That is the heart of God for every lost soul, including Young Don. And if you've ever felt distant from God, he's calling you back too. So if this situation has made you question things, I really want to encourage you right now. Don't run from God, run to him. Now, if you're feeling shaken by this or you're struggling with your doubts yourself, please pay attention, because I want to give you some ways to keep your faith very strong. Number one, stay rooted in the Word. Don't rely on influencers. Rely on the Bible. I say this all the time, and I'm going to continue to say it because it's true. Psalms chapter 119, verse 105 says, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path." Number two, surround yourself with strong believers. Iron will continue to sharpen iron. Be in a community with people who will encourage you. Let me say it again, encourage you in your walk with Christ. Number three, pray for wisdom and discernment. If we lack the wisdom, we should ask God and he will give it to us generously. And number four, remember that faith is a journey. Every single one of us will go through seasons of struggle, but true faith is about persevering and trusting God through it all.
And I've read the New Testament multiple times. I've seen verses like this all the time. And I always just chalk it up to, oh, maybe my faith isn't strong enough. That's why my prayers don't work. Are anyone's prayers strong enough?
If Young Don's decision has affected you personally, please take this as a reminder to build your faith on the solid rock of Jesus Christ. Not any person, not any movement, but on the never-changing God. Now, to my brother in Christ, Young Don, I hope you receive this message in love and understand this. No matter how much you walk away from Christianity or you disown God through your very, very talented and powerful content creation abilities, no matter what you do, God still loves you and is still waiting there saying, okay, bro, I'll see you when you get back. Say what you want out of frustration. Do what you want out of malice. Regardless, he loves you and there is nothing that you can do about it. So I'll keep you in my prayers, brother, because God moves in very mysterious ways. Now, I want to leave each and every one of you listening with this. People may fall. Yes, they will. But God is still faithful. He's still moving, he's still saving, and he's still working in our hearts today. If you've ever been struggling with this, I want you to drop a comment in the section down below if you feel you need some encouragement. And if you need some personal prayer, some personal discipleship, please email me so that I can do my best to help you. And if this message has blessed you today, please make sure to hit the like for the video, subscribe for more biblical encouragement, and also share this with someone who needs to hear it, especially Young Don. God is not done with Young Don. No, he's not. God is not done with you, and God is not done with me. So keep seeking him, keep trusting him, and remember, He will never, ever leave you. I'll see you in the next one. Be blessed.